Hello, a great welcome to this presentation. So today I will demonstrate the analysis of a base plate that is subjected to an axial load using the ETABS software. So as the topic is very familiar to each one of you, let me straight away take you to the problem statement. Okay, so in the presentation we will discuss the analysis of a base plate that is subjected to an axial load using the ETABS software. So the analysis results essentially include two parameters, that is first one, distribution of bearing stresses below the base plate, and second, variation of bending moments. And these two distributions are essential to verify both the base plate size as well as the thickness. So now let me introduce you to the problem parameters used for the analysis. So the column base plate layout is shown over here. As you can see that the column profile used for the base plate is HE260A, and this is a three-dimensional view of this simple base plate that is subjected to only an axial load P. So HE260A is essentially a European column section parameter, and its dimensions are the width of the column is 260 millimeters, its depth is 250 millimeters, the flange thickness is 12.5 mm, and the web thickness is 7.5 mm. For the problem, a base plate thickness of TP equal to 25 mm is assumed, which need to be verified in the later stages of our analysis. And the base plate material used is S355 as per Eurocode EC3, for which the corresponding yield stress Fy equal to 355 MPa. The anchor bolts, here as you can see that only 4 numbers of anchor bolts are used, and their role is only to hold the base plate together with the pedestal. So the bolts used are M24, and the concrete grade used is C2025 as per EC2 with an associated characteristic cylindrical strength of 20 MPa. The applied load P for the analysis is taken as 800 kN. Okay, fine. So the ETABS model that is used for the problem is shown over here. As you can see that it essentially consists of 3 components. The first one is the column profile HE260A, then we have a base plate, and then the area springs that is used to simulate the contact between the base plate and the grout. And just for having a better understanding of the bearing stress distribution, here is provided a simple sketch that shows the distribution of bearing stress as assumed in the European code EC3. As you can see that the bearing stress distribution is not considered along the full area of the base plate, rather it is considered to be uniform over an area that follows essentially a column profile, and this area is obtained by taking a projected dimension C from each and every element of the column as shown over here. And EC3 also provide you the formula to calculate C based on the thickness of the base plate as well as based on the bearing stress. Okay, fine. So let me take you now directly to the ETABS in order to explain in a better way the various parameters that are used for the model development and also in obtaining the analysis results. Okay, so this is the 3D model developed in ETABS for the column base plate assembly. So now let me quickly take you to the various parameters that are used for the model development. So first, let us, as usual, start with the material properties. Obviously here there is only one property, that is a steel, that is, as you can see, that is defined over here. And now let me take you to the parameters used for this property definition. So here it is, the unit weight is, that is 0, and we are performing an elastic analysis. So it means that the value of modulus of elasticity is important. E is equal to 2 into 10 raised to 5 MPa. So that's only the simple definition of the material used. Now regarding the section properties, we have 2 elements. First one is a slab element, and then that is used for the base plate, and then we have the wall elements that is used for the development of the column profile. So let me show you these 2 section properties. So here we have the section properties. Go to the slab, And as you can see that there is a property defined here known as a base plate. Let me show you the parameters. So here it is the material property is steel, and we have used a shell thin formulation for this analysis problem. And as you can see that it is the base plate thickness is assumed as 25 MPa. Now let me take you to the wall properties. So here define, go to define, and then we have the wall properties. And here you can see that I defined two properties, that is one for the flange element of this column profile and the second one for the web. Obviously these two properties should be the same, only thing is that the difference lies in the thickness. So let me show you the flange properties. So you can see that here again the shell thin formulation, and the thickness is 12.5 mm, the property is steel. And now coming to the web, obviously it should be the same as the flange, only thing is that its thickness should be the smaller one, that is 7.5 mm as provided over here. So this is all regarding the various elements that we have developed. And lastly I want to provide you an important area spring parameter that is used to simulate the contact stress distribution or the bearing stress distribution between the base plate as well as the grout. So here let me show you the property that is used to over here. So here obviously it should be an area spring, and here as you can see that I defined a property known as a rigid spring, because this base plate is supported not on the soil but on the concrete. Accordingly you can see that I have used a very large value of K in order to simulate almost a rigid support. And remember, this is a nonlinear static analysis, and we have to use the compression only command. Anyway, this is subjected on an axial load only, so that will not be much problematic for us. So these are all the various parameters used for the model development. And finally I want to show you the loads. So I'll go to the display over here and the load assignments and the joint. So apply. So here as you can see that here the total applied load is 800 kilonewton, and this is distributed over 31 nodal points, which means that under each node I have applied a load of 25.8 kilonewton. So this is all regarding the loads applied, and we have got only one load case as well as one load pattern over which this axial load P is applied. Now it's a time for us to perform the analysis and start reviewing the results. So let me just press the run analysis button. So I think that it will not take more than say 5 seconds. It's a very simple problem. Okay, fine. So as you can see that this is the deflected 3D deflected shape of the base plate. It looks pretty nice, and as you can see that there is a bulging near the edges, and there is a pressing squeezing down the base plate just under the base plate. And so this is the deformation profile. Now let me show you the very important one, that is the bearing stress distribution. So I will go over here and show you the soil pressures. So apply, okay. So look here, this is the bearing stress distribution, and a detailed observations or a detailed explanation of this bearing stress distribution diagram is provided in the subsequent part of the analysis, and so accordingly will not be repeated over here. And lastly, I want to show you the variation of the minimum across the base plate. That means I am talking about the M11 and M22 diagrams for the shell element. So let me just display this force element, and you can see that here there is a option called the shell stress forces, and herein we'll select the M11 parameters, apply. So this is the distribution of the M11 parameter. Obviously a detailed account of this distribution will be provided in the subsequent presentation. Now finally, and look over here, the maximum value of the M11, it is shown over here as you can see that it's at 20.93 kilonewton over this corner. And now let me show you the M22 as well. So display, and go to this force stress diagram, shell stress forces, M22, apply, okay. So this is the M22 diagram for this base plate, and as you can see that the minimum value is 13.9 and the maximum value is 13.9, that is less than M11 value. Again, a detailed presentation of this bearing stress distribution is already provided in the presentation. So that's all about the ETABS parameters, is model development as well as the analysis part. Now let me take you back to the presentation for a detailed review and explanation of these results obtained from ETABS. Okay, fine. So let us start reviewing the ETABS results. The first one that we are going to review is the distribution of the bearing stress under the base plate. So here is shown the plot that is obtained directly from ETABS that shows the contact pressure distribution below the base plate. So let me share some of my observations from this distribution. So if a rigid plate assumption is followed, which is being used in many of the codes, we know that the bearing stress distribution will be uniform. And for this case, if a rigid plate assumption is used, the value of the bearing stress will be uniform, and its value is nothing but the applied load P divided by the total area of the base plate. And the dimension of the base plate, as you know, it is a 350 by 450 mm. Accordingly, the uniform bearing stress will be 800 into 1000, that is in newtons, divided by 450 into 350, that is 5.08 MPa. So this is one approach that is followed in some of the codes, wherein a rigid plate assumption is followed, and accordingly the bearing stress is assumed to be uniform below the base plate. And in such a case, the value of this bearing stress will be 5.08 MPa. But please look at the bearing stress distribution that we obtained from the ETABS. It is not uniform. What does this indicate? This indicates that the above assumption is not valid in majority of the cases. And for our case, as you can see that the bearing stress is non-uniform. I have very clearly indicated over here. And the bearing stress below the base plate, it varies over a very large range. The minimum value being Fj equal to 0. So as you can see that there are many regions that is being marked in blue over here, over which the contact stress or the bearing stress is equal to 0, and a maximum value of even going up to 9.3 MPa. And as you can see that this maximum value is observed near the junction of the column web and as well as the column flange, as being marked over these two regions. And what does this indicate? It indicates that the bearing stress as we compute from the rigid plate assumption is lower, that is a 5, whereas ETABS has provided as a very large one. Actual one is almost, I think, that 100 times, that is 2 times the 5 is 9.3 MPa. Now this distribution as obtained from ETABS also says that the distribution is not uniform, and it essentially follow the column profile. As you can see that the distribution, the maximum values of this bearing stress, it follow the column profile, with this profile obtained after projecting a dimension of a C from the column face as stipulated in EC3. This means that the ETABS results rather follows the bearing stress distribution that is detailed in EC3. Now, having obtained the maximum bearing stress, in this case 9.3 MPa, we need to check whether this computed bearing stress is within the allowable value or not. Accordingly, I have computed the joint bearing stress, that's a design joint bearing strength, as per the Eurocode EC2 provisions, and this works out to be 16.9 MPa. So the actual one is 9.3, which is less than 16.9 MPa. So we conclude that the plate size is sufficient from the point of view of the bearing stress. Now next, let me take you to the distribution of the bending moments in the plate. Here is shown the resultant M11 diagram with a maximum value of the moment as 20.93 kilonewton meter per meter. And next is shown the distribution of the resultant M22 diagram across the plate, and here the maximum value is 13.92 kilonewton meter per meter. Accordingly, we conclude that it is the M11 diagram that critically governs the base plate thickness. Now let me share some of my observations. So here the critical moment values as expected correspond to the flange or the web faces. So as you can see that these are the critical locations, that is near to the column as well as the web flanges. The bending moment is maximum, and the maximum of M11 and M12, that is the design moment, is 20.93, and we need to verify whether our plate has sufficient bending strength or not. Accordingly, I have performed a calculation as per EC3 in order to compute the design bending strength of the plate. And this is a very simple formula. You have to just use the Fy multiplied by Z, that's the section modulus of the plate, and that works out to be 36.98 kilonewton meter, and this is obviously greater than 20.93. Hence, we conclude that the base plate size and thickness are acceptable. So that's all regarding this presentation. So as usual, kindly go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because I am going to present a lot many interesting topics for the design engineers. If you have any comments, please let me know, because I am very sure that such comments would obviously improve the quality of my presentations in the future. That will be obviously beneficial to the community. Once again, thanks and have a nice day.